temple full of light, and 6 winged seraphs, shaking at the sound of the angels' voices, full of smoke. God splitting flames of fire, beautiful in holiness, thundering with a voice of splendor. The Holy One shaking the wilderness, making the oak trees writhe, enthroned as king. Holy, awe, transformation, radiance. It can make humanity seem very limited in comparison. Another way it might be said is that there is nothing like the transcendent to give us some perspective. I was thinking when I was writing this sermon, how can I possibly give them a sense of these experiences with all of this glory and all of this amazing, amazing experiences? And the closest thing I could come was really, really tacky. And it was, you know, they had this movie a really long time ago called Earthquake, where they put these things under the movie seats and shook. Yeah. And even then, that wouldn't have been enough. That would not remotely have been enough. And it would be tacky. So we're not doing that. But our stories today burst with superlatives, with language that strains to express what they want to say. And in the midst of doing that, they also carry a knowledge with them that they will still fall short. And in the end, words are always inadequate when we stand before the gates of mystery. That's capital M, mystery. Today is Trinity Sunday, and that's the only day in our church calendar which celebrates a doctrine. And that's a notoriously challenging belief to understand. Preachers and theologians have struggled mightily through the ages, seeking the words that will make it all clear. The Episcopal Church is blessed with a priest who is also a cartoonist. We get a calendar of his drawings every year. You guys probably have one in your office or somewhere, huh? Maybe? Uh-huh. The one for this month shows someone trying to preach on this Sunday, and he has managed to bend himself into a pretzel. I can sympathize. St. Patrick is supposed to have used a shamrock as a visual aid, which I have often heard preachers trying to articulate the nature of the triune God with the use of chemistry. And fundamentally, it will never be enough. Our words stammer and babble and eventually fall silent before the word beyond all words. In many ways, our doctrines and languages and imagery often tell us less about God than in fact they tell us about ourselves. They stake out before us the limits of human thought and language in the face of the holy. They are bounded by historical perspectives, shaped by political expediency, and expressed in culturally conditioned language. They reflect the experiences and viewpoints of our own lives rather than the nature of the Supreme Creator. In reflecting upon how we know God and what difference that might make in who we are and how we live, there are dangers to avoid and opportunities to seize. The first great danger in all our speaking and imaging and theologizing about God is that we might think that's all there is for us to do. We might put all our energies into expressing what we know about God and arguing about the legitimacy of other people's expression, rather than letting our knowing transform our being and our living. But nobody went to heaven on the strength of the correctness of their doctrine about God. It's the holiness of our living in God that will finally bring us into God's presence. The second danger is that we might actually come to believe in our own theology. We might imagine that our incoherent prattle, our crude scribbles, our precariously piled up concepts like children's blocks, even our most ancient and venerated doctrines, are accurate and adequate and complete representations of the divine. We forget that they are simple and necessary, but halting, limited, and incomplete attempts at saying the unsayable, imagining the unimaginable, and knowing the unknowable. Now, the medieval theologian Thomas Aquinas was universally thought at the time to be a very wise man. And yet, at the end of his life, someone asked him what he thought about the vast and comprehensive book, theological system he had constructed, the Summa Theologica. And he replied, "It seems to be like straw." The church has always been in need of such wisdom. Because one of the greatest problems that we have always had is how easily we turn words and images and doctrines into definitions and blueprints and dogmas. We freeze their power to catch our imaginations and lead us deeper into living mystery, and treat them like valuables to be guarded rather than roadmaps to be followed. It can be easy, it seems, to become doctrinal police instead of fearless explorers of the infinite divine nature. Trinity Sunday reflects upon our knowledge of God and how we experience God to be. And the act of trying to express that to ourselves is important for growing in our own understanding and for encouraging us to listen to the eternal word in new ways. At the same time, it's just as important to come again and again to the place where we must admit that our words are limited and insufficient. And to remember that the point of all our wrestling is to be open to the transformation of God upon our lives. A professor of mine used to delight in one particular question. Whenever we would start to wander too far afield in the esoterics of thought, he'd bring us back to earth. So, what? As we put together all of these ancient and beautiful, or modern and challenging ideas and formulations of faith, what possible difference did they make in our lives? Consider the Nicene Creed, a product of our church's struggles with the mystery of God, who is three in one. Ask yourself the so what question after each clause. How might this experience of imaging and pondering about God transform who we are and what we are called to be? We believe in God, maker of heaven and earth. So So does that make a difference in how we treat the earth? We believe in Jesus Christ, who descended into hell. And do we live like people who know that Christ is with us even in hell, and who can therefore afford to be daring for the sake of justice and love? We believe in the Holy Spirit, who is spoken through the prophets. How much do we actually listen to the Spirit speaking through their voices, past and present? We believe in forgiveness of sins. But to what extent are we willing to live as forgiven and forgiving people? Are we willing to let what we know about God and try to say about God make a difference in our lives? We all come before God with our theological boxes in place, with our words and images and concepts all lined up. And God not only offers us a whole new set of mental and spiritual furniture, but invites us to ask ourselves, so what? Will we let our lives, as well as our understanding, be transformed by what we are coming to know of God, revealed in Christ through the power of the Spirit? Will we dare to stand in this temple and seek God's presence? Will we wrestle with our own experience to find the most adequate ways to speak of God's grace? Will we risk letting Jesus open and overhaul our tidy boxes in which we have shut up our lives, and let him lead us out into the fullness of eternal life? Will we answer the so what question with our lives? The only thing that makes it possible to do these things, of course, is the fact that God is love. And that God's love is simply the most powerful and creative force in the universe. God so loved the world, and that love is constantly revealing itself to us, so that we can know God in new and surprising and challenging and reassuring and mysterious ways. Love is the word beyond our words, the reality beyond our images, the truth beneath our concepts, the life that supports our living. When the divine love touches us, we see most accurately and most completely the nature of God, and we are empowered to live in that love. It is love that pulls God into the pains and joys of human history and human lives. It is love that tempers God's justice with mercy. It is love that adopts us as beloved children. It is love that comes among us as one of us, that dies for us and raises us from death. It is love that inspires and empowers us to live lives transformed by love's power. God's love desires to be experienced in every possible way. God's love yearns to be lived out uniquely by every single human person made in the image of God. God's love seeks to transform our lives into complete congruence with what we believe, until finally we are caught up into the depth and height of union with God. When the so what is finally answered in loving embrace of mystery beyond all